Hello, in this video I'm going to explain to you one of the interpretation techniques that is necessary and important for developing that skill. The name of this technique is shadowing. Shadowing is a learning technique that can help you with your pronunciation, with your fluency, and obviously it's helpful for interpretation. And it consists of listening and then repeat the message of the person that is speaking and trying to sound as native speaker. Shadowing means to repeat, okay, whatever was said in the same language that it was said. For example, English, English, or Spanish, Spanish. Not switching the languages. No, we are using the same target language and the search language. So it's basically this technique was developed by an American professor called Alexander Arwes, and it was a method that was really essential for developing interpretation skills. That's why shadowing is like the basis for doing this. A shadow looks like the original thing as much as it can. So shadowing basically focuses on that basis. You need to shadow the message. You need to sound like the original message, okay? And the goal is like that. You need to copy exactly what the person is saying. How to start doing this? Well, first thing, it's recommended that you use your first language. You use your mother tongue. In this case, you can start doing shadowing using Spanish, and then you can move on to English. But right now we are going to practice only in English, okay? Why is used the mother tongue? Because you need to get used to this technique. So that's why Spanish will be better to practice first. But as I was saying, we are going to focus only in English. You have to read the text aloud, and it's slightly slower than normal for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, you need to listen that message 1, 2, 3, 4 times in order to get the idea, in order to copy the fluency, the accent, and the way that the person is delivering the message. You have to focus on specific sentences, phrases, and then you have to focus it also in the way that the person is pronouncing those words or those phrases. And then you have to get used to that. You have to accustom to that thing, and you are ready for practicing with more advanced or more complicated audios. What is the usefulness of shadowing? Well, it's useful into all the interpreters' active languages, so A and B, so English and Spanish. It helps you with both languages. And it helps you with accent, delivery, voice quality, vocal range, emphasis, clearliness or retention, and confidence. So shadowing helps you with this. Before doing the interpretation process, you need to shadow first. You need to get used to different accents, and you need to get used to the way that the person is pronouncing certain words or phrases. That's why shadowing helps you with this. What are some tips that you need to know before doing this? Well, sometimes when you are studying using shadowing, you can make pronunciation mistakes. And this is important. Why? Because sometimes we listen, but we don't listen carefully, we don't listen properly, and we are copying the pronunciation mistakes of the person that is speaking. So you need to be really careful with that, and it will help you with your listening skills. Also, when you are doing this technique, you need to focus first on words, then phrases, and then sentence pronunciation, okay? Individual sounds. Remember that English has some pronunciation things. For example, the past tense, the ed pronunciation, we have 3 different pronunciation of that sound. Then you need to be careful with that when you are listening to. And also gives you the opportunity to practice physical feel of articulating. English and Spanish are not the same. We have different ways of articulating sounds. Spanish is relaxed, but English is a little bit more specific in the way you articulate sounds. You need to open your mouth, you need to use your yaw, you need to use your tongue and your lips in order to produce the correct pronunciation of the sounds. How to use the shadowing technique? Well, you need some requirements, you need some tools. The first thing is an audio player, so it could be no longer than 3 minutes. You need headphones because in that way you can listen perfectly the message, and an audio recording in your target language. In this case, the audio that we pick up will be in English, right? If you want to, you can practice shadowing using an audio in Spanish, but we are going to use English this time. And a place where you can rehearse. Okay, sometimes if it's someone there that is listening to you when you are doing this, you will feel uncomfortable, but you can use your bedroom or maybe a place in your house where you can rehearse without any problem. And what are the steps for doing this? First, you have to listen to the text. Okay, listen. It could be a short piece of audio with just one person. Okay, don't use an audio that is complicated or an audio where you have to listen to 3 or 4 people. No, with one person speaking is enough. Then you have to replay the text, repeat it in your voice, and you try to use a louder voice than the normal one, and try to match the accent of your target language. So it means that you need to copy the accent of the person that is speaking. Then you have to repeat the text again and again and again until you are confident. Remember, you have to sound exactly as the way the person is speaking. So repeat it and practice it again and again. And you can use transcript. It's a good idea to listen to the text, but also reading what the person is saying. So it's a good way to look for transcription of that audio. And once you are confident with the text you are practicing and understand its meaning, you can move to the next text. So you can start with basic ones with English level that is not too complicated, and then you can move on to intermediate or advanced level, more complicated audios. What are some tips? You have to record yourself, okay? Do it. Listen, try to match the accent, the fluency, the pronunciation, but try to record yourself while you are doing it. And that way you can check for your pronunciation or you can check your mistakes and you can correct them. Choose speech that are appropriate. As I was saying, you can choose an audio that is not complicated. 1 or 3 minutes long is important. It's necessary that it's not going to be a long audio, or it could be a short one. And transcription of that audio will be helpful, as I was saying, because you are listening, but at the same time you are reading what the person is saying, and you can match the pronunciation with what you are reading. And you have to mimic the speaker as closely as possible. As I was saying, remember, you are the shadow of the person that is speaking. What it means that you have to follow his or her pronunciation, accent, delivery of the message. Thank you so much, guys. This is the shadowing technique, and as I was saying, it's the basis for doing the interpretation process properly. So try to practice it, try to apply the steps that I already explained, and good luck with this technique.